أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل لا أملك لنفسي نفعا ولا ضرا إلا ما شاء الله ولو كنت أعلم الغيب لاستكثرت من الخير وما مسني السوء إن أنا إلا نذير وبشير لقوم يؤمنون. In the previous verses, Allah Ta'ala mentions that when Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would be asked in regards to Qiyamah, then Nabi Alayhi Salatu Wasallam would say that the knowledge of Qiyamah is by Allah Ta'ala, my Rabb. In this verse, Allah Ta'ala instructs Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to say, قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكُ لِنَفْسِي نَفْعًا وَلَا ضَرًّا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. That say, O Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I cannot bring any benefit nor can I bring any harm to myself. I don't have the ability of bringing benefit and harm to myself. Illa ma sha Allah, except what Allah Ta'ala wishes. Meaning the amount of harm that Allah Ta'ala wants to come to me, that is the amount of harm that will come to me. And the amount of benefit that Allah Ta'ala wants to come to me, that is the amount of benefit that will come to me. So everything is in the qudrat, in the power of Allah. وَلَوْ كُنْتُ أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ لَاسْتَكْثَرْتُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ. If I had the knowledge of the unseen, then most certainly I would have gathered a lot of good. وَمَا مَسَّنِيَ السُّوءُ, and no harm would have ever come to me. إِنْ أَنَا إِلَّا نَذِيرٌ وَبَشِيرٌ لِقَوْمِ يُؤْمِنُونَ. I am only a warner and a giver of glad tidings for a nation that will bring iman upon Allah Ta'ala. This verse is clear cut, where Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam has no knowledge of the unseen whatsoever. There are many people that have this belief also, that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had the knowledge of the unseen. However, there are many ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that clearly indicate that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had no knowledge of the unseen whatsoever, except what Allah Ta'ala wanted Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to know. So these people, when these ahadith are put before them, then they go to the next step. And what is the next step? They say at the time of the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the knowledge of the unseen was open before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But at the time of death, what is a person going to do with the knowledge of the unseen? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the last part of his life, Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam would fall unconscious. After a little while, he will gain consciousness. Again, he will fall unconscious. He will gain consciousness. When he will gain consciousness, the first question on the tongue of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has namaz taken place or not taken place? So if he had knowledge of the unseen at the time of death, why is Nabi alayhi salam putting this question, has namaz taken place or has namaz not taken place? So here also it proves that at the time of death also Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam had no knowledge of the unseen. And some say that on the day of Qiyamah, on the Maidan-e-Hashar, on the plains of resurrection, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam will be given complete knowledge of the unseen. But there again the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes that on the day of Qiyamah everybody will fall unconscious, and I will be the first one to gain consciousness. Nabi alayhi salam says, when I will gain consciousness on the day of Qiyamah, when I will look, I will see Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, that he's already gained consciousness and he's holding onto the arsh of Allah Ta'ala. So here Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, I don't know whether Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he gained consciousness before me, or whether Musa alayhi salam never fall unconscious. Because when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam made dua to Allah Ta'ala, that Allah want to see you, Allah Ta'ala told him that look to the mountain, and if you're able to see my tajalli, my manifestation will come onto the mountain. If you're able to withstand that, then you will be able to see me. But when Allah Ta'ala's tajalli came onto that mountain, Musa alayhi salam fell unconscious and the mountain broke into pieces. So Nabi alayhi salam says, because of that, Musa alayhi salam fell unconscious in the dunya. Tomorrow on the day of Qiyamah, perhaps Musa alayhi salatu wasalam will not fall unconscious. So therefore Musa alayhi salam was holding the arsh of Allah Ta'ala. So whichever way we look at it, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam did not have knowledge of the unseen except what Allah Ta'ala showed to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Thereafter Allah Ta'ala speaks of the creation of Adam alayhi salam, وَالَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن نَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ, that Allah Ta'ala is the one that created you from one soul. وَجَعَلَ مِنْهَا زَوْجَهَا, and from this one soul, from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, he made its spouse. Hazrat Hawa alayhi salatu wasalam was created from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, from the rib of Adam alayhi salam. لِيَسْكُنَ إِلَيْهَا, so that he will find comfort with her. This is the objective of nikah. Why a person gets married? So he can find that sukoon, he will find comfort in his wife. فَلَمَّا تَغَشَّاهَا حَمَلَتْ حَمْلًا خَفِيفًا فَمَرَّتْ بِهِ. Allah Ta'ala says that when Adam alayhi salam would cover Hawa alayhi salam, So here covering actually refers to intimacy. When Adam alayhi salam was intimate with Hawa alayhi salatu wasalam, she would conceal a light concealment, meaning a light weight. Initially it is just a drop of fluid. So that is a light weight that is referred to in the verse of the Quran. فَمَرَّتْ بِي, and then Hazrat Hawa alayhi salatu wasalam would carry that pregnancy. فَلَمَّا أَثْقَلَتْ دَعْوَ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُمَا, when the pregnancy would become heavy, now she would come closer to the time of delivering the child, then both husband and wife would make dua to Allah Ta'ala. From here we learn when the woman is pregnant, the husband should also make dua, the wife should also make dua to Allah Ta'ala for the child. What dua did they make? لَإِنْ آتَيْتَنَا صَالِحًا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. That certainly if you give us a healthy child, لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ, most certainly we will be from amongst those that make shukr to you. There's a lengthy incident behind this. Inshallah, in the next lesson we will discuss the incident. Allah Ta'ala give us.